has 2 small children in school. I refuse to have them take the vaccine. And whether, like the one lady said, whether we have to put it off the or not, I refuse to do it. The mask mandate is still not working, even though we are in the red. My son was quarantined just 2 weeks ago. So I do not believe in it, and I think it should be a vote. So our kids being mandated to get this vaccine.
Thank you.
Sheila Hines, also on Zoom.
Sheila, unmute, please.
I'm against the vaccines because there's too many things that could go wrong, and I don't think it's worth the risk to me or my child. So everybody's already said what I was thinking prior, so that's just my opinion on it. I oppose it, and I think it's ridiculous to make these kids and teachers and everybody do. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
Cade Wagner.
Kate Wagner.
Mayor.
Okay.
I think that we should have a mask mandate because I really miss my friends and my teachers, and I have a nephew that's 7 and he already has anxiety over it, so I think that we should have a mask mandate.
Thank you for allowing him to speak.
Thank you, Kate.
Aaron Baldwin, also on Zoom.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I first wanted to start by saying the staff at Green Bank Elementary Middle School has been incredible at showing up and doing what needs to be done to make the best of this difficult situation. That goes for our principal, our school nurse, my fellow teachers, and the support staff. I want to say now that I believe not enacting a mask mandate is neglecting the safety of our students and staff. As staff and students have tested positive or are in quarantine, already thin staff is scrambling to cover classes that there are not enough substitutes to fill. Aides and other staff are covering classes, and even a board of education staff member was covering a teaching position today. When teachers try to continue to move forward with curriculum, many of our classes have several students, with some up to half of them in quarantine, making it hard to move on to with material. Teachers are doing their best to provide support for those that are out for several weeks at a time without any extra prep time. I have several students that have been quarantined for up to 3 weeks so far at this point in the school year because of exposure. My own daughter is currently quarantined because of an exposure last week. Again, I please ask the board to take the education of our students and the health of our students and staff into consideration and enact a mask mandate at tonight's board meeting. Additionally, please consider a temporary remote option while students and staff recover from the current outbreak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Jay Miller.
I'm going to tell you a story. For this story, I've written the beginning and middle parts, but the Board of Education gets to write the ending. Will it be happy or sad? That's up to you, here and now. More than a decade ago, a civil servant in the D.C. area retired and moved to Pocahontas County. He wanted to remain active in retirement and find a way to be helpful in the community. He worked for the county commission for a while and established the one-room university. He also began participating in the Read Aloud program at the middle and elementary schools. While he was doing Read Aloud, this fellow realized how much he enjoyed working with children. One day, a 4th grade teacher asked him if he could help some of her students with the multiplication tables. He soon realized that not only did these students not know the times tables, they didn't know how to add and subtract in their heads. He told himself that he needed to make sure no students went to middle school without knowing the multiplication tables. That fall, he began volunteering at Marlinton and Hillsborough elementary schools. At first, only a few teachers were willing to work with him, which was okay. He kept doing read aloud to fill in blank spaces in his schedule. Over the next few years, however, demand for math tutoring at Marlinton Elementary kept increasing, and eventually he was working with all the teachers and about half of the students in grades 1 through 5. Then, on March 13th, 2020, the schools shut down and the math tutor went home to stay safe, wearing a mask in public and waiting until there was a vaccine. In January 2021, when he knew that he would soon be vaccinated, he called the principal at MES to offer to return after he was fully vaccinated. He was told that volunteers were not allowed in the schools during the pandemic, but that the board office said he could return as an employee interventionist. He started tutoring again on March 1st, a week after his second shot, and worked for 3 months, 5 days a week. The math tutor felt safe in returning to school because he was fully vaccinated and everyone in the school, students and faculty, wore masks. In June, the governor of West Virginia declared the 20th would be Freedom Day, when people who were vaccinated could take off their masks. And that's when things got crazy, because all adults, vaccinated or not, took off their masks, apparently forever. On August 10th, the Board of Education voted down a mask requirement for students or school personnel. This same board hadn't seemed to mind masks a few months before. On August 31st, the board did 2 things of interest to this story. First, it refused to consider a motion to require masks in school. And second, the board approved a position as part-time math tutor at MES to start on September 7th. On the 7th, the math tutor told the superintendent that he wouldn't feel safe at MES unless masks were required for everyone, or he was able to get a booster shot. Since then, neither has happened, and the math tutor stays at home splitting firewood and getting ready for another long winter. Which brings us to today. Booster shots have not yet been approved for Moderna recipients, and students are not wearing masks in school. How will the ending to this story be written? Will the math tutor return to MES to help students sharpen their basic math skills, or will he stay home until he feels safe in a school? You can write a happy ending to this story today by following the lead of 53 other counties in West Virginia and adopt a mask mandate for county schools.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have.
So, thank you all. Item number 5, Superintendent's Report and Special Recognition.
Well, first of all, this was mentioned earlier in the LSIC presentation. This Thursday is Service Personnel Appreciation Day, and we want to recognize